Hey y'all, welcome back to Ascending with Ashley. I'm Ashley. This is a homesteading diaries. Yeah, that's what it is. I haven't done one in a while. So I have achieved a lot of goals for the homestead since we've been in this house. And it's been a minute since we've been out to our land. A little like uncomfortable minute, but it is what it is. So anyway, now that I have finished this deck in the front, we just got the rug for it today. I'm just looking around and thinking about all the work I put into planning for the homestead for, I don't know, a year and a half before we moved out there. We moved out there for a good 3 months. It was so fucking hard as a single mom to be off-grid without water, and we really didn't have too much electric because of our solar panel situation. I injured myself. I'm always injuring myself in the same spot. So anyway, this is my planning binder. We have a little kiddo who's a little bit sick. What's up, buddy? Can you give me a minute? This was my very, very first plan. And that was like, okay, we have an RV and we'll just get like a shipping container and, you know. So this was the very, very first plan. Pause it. Greenhouse, gazebo, sand, pool, ball pit, outdoor shower. I'm still wanting to do all of this, but I've bought a lot of stuff. This bike rack too, that's the whole reason I wanted that old bed from the neighbor's yard. So we have that, we have the swing set, we have a couple greenhouse situations. But yeah, that was the very, very first thing I made. So a reality of our land is very different than this. But I just wanted to show you that this is where I started. This is a book about earth bag construction that I have in here. This does not need to be in here right now. And then I also have a book about the area, the land that we are in. And then I have a whole binder full of, let me get this stuff out of the way. So I've been working on this binder since I bought the land, our home-free homestead. Remember that the goal is to open it up to other women and children, but we really need a well. We need water more than anything. And then once we have a well, we'll be able to do that and then move all of this crap back out there. But I wanted to show you because I have a million checklists. I'm a big checklist person. And so from time to time, especially after I make like big investments or finish projects here at this spot, I mark off what we have. And this is like bathroom. So we have 2 RVs on the land as far as I know, unless someone took them or whatever. There were 2 the last time I was there. I own them both. They are paid for. And so these lists are like the homesteading thing. I want to renovate. I am planning on building a house. I want to do an eco build. I will do an eco build that is Earthship inspired, which means it's like self-sustaining. However, the way that Earthships are built, the materials used is not really my jam. We are going to be building mostly with earth bag or rammed earth, or maybe even doing a shipping container. It depends, because shipping container costs have gone like way the fuck up in the past. Since 2020, you used to be able to get a 40, well, I was in LA too, which was by a port, but anyway. So I have just lists of stuff. I have drawn, so the last time I looked at this was 3/20 of 21. So March of 21. We didn't move onto the land until October of 2021. No, October of 2022. So this was like a shipping container design. I've done a ton of floor lamps, but then, or floor plans. And then when we were in Cottonwood, oh God, you can't see shit. I would just go to thrifting and we would buy stuff on my list, you know. I've accumulated a ton because my vision is, you know, my vision is a work in progress constantly, you know. Even when the house is built, it's going to be building houses for others, things like that. Solar panels, bed riser, I got all that. And then, yeah, so I just wanted to share. And then I have all of the temporary permits from the county, use of land, site plan. I haven't really done a lot with this right now because we're just not out there. Construction permit, lot coverage requirements, building departments. So all of this shit is from the county. Requirements for the county. Public works, final plat. I've got my tax stuff in here. I gotta pay. It's coming up. It should be coming soon. And then I have another section of floor plans. So I just want to show you. I really dig drawing floor plans. So this was, yeah, this is the main house. It has since changed because at one point I really wanted to use shipping containers. But graph paper is the best way to do like square footage if you are going to be drawing. Wow, it's crazy how much it's changed. I feel like I was doing this to put the RV that we lived in next to a shipping container. So this was like before I even got the second RV, these plans. And I think it's really important to keep this stuff because it's like, yeah. But anyway, I just bought a whole bunch of stuff. Like one thing that was on my list, several of these lists, was a giant bean bag. And we just got that this week. Plywood. I bought plywood and I didn't cut it up for that deck. There's still a lot of like practical stuff I need, but again, we're not out there right now. Here is another floor plan. Look how many floor plans I have. So this was all when we were in Cottonwood. I just drew. I feel like the reason I am so into this right now is because, gosh, look at my brain in this one. So we have like a trampoline, we have, you know, a bunch of stuff for Niall to play with. Like, so everything I've bought has been investments in this long-term vision I have. And it's not just for my son, it's for other children as well. I know I've said that. I was going to make a front porch out of 2 pallets. Look at all this work I did. So it's so funny to look at because I've just, look at all the measurements and stuff. You can't see it. So I was like doing all these measurements, how much we're going to need per pallet. And we live right by this hardware store. We just get pallets for $5. I'm just, when I was in Cottonwood doing this, I was constantly watching Mr. Deeds, and I'm watching Mr. Deeds today, and that beanbag was just like, we just got the rug out there too, so, I don't know. I just felt like looking at everything and seeing where we're at, how far we've come. Yes, we are not on the land, but I have acquired so many skills since this, and that's the thing, is like, we've moved so much, we've had so many upheavals in different ways, but like it has been incredibly divine. It has been very much, you need to learn this before you can do this, and things like that. Here's Here's pergola plants. Gazebo, pergola, I don't know, whatever you want to call it. I think a gazebo has walls, doesn't it? But like, I was like, so I was just sitting in my bed watching TV, I remember, in Cottonwood, and I remember doing so much math and being like, how much wood am I gonna need? And again, I feel like this was before I even acquired the second RV. Maybe we had the second RV at that time because I was like, oh, I can just put shit in there. By the way, when we moved that here, it was like floor to roof, fucking full of stuff. But yeah, I have a pretty solid floor plan for the house I want. I don't know if it's in this binder. I feel like it's in a different binder. But one thing I will say is that, like, even when you invest in stuff and it gets gross, so like the porch swing is all like faded and shit, even if that, I will keep the frames. And that's the thing I think is so important. Metal frames can always be spray painted, and you can always upholster anything. I have a couple folding chairs that, of course, baby daddy broke one. But I'm keeping all of those frames because you can just upholster those with new fabric. Not a big deal at all. So don't throw that stuff away, especially if you're poor already. You know, I think one of the things, another person's trash is definitely my treasure. I'm a big, obviously if you're on this channel you know this, I'm a big DIYer. Mostly because I'm poor, also because I like creating shit and I always see the potential in anything, no matter what it looks like. So right here, 1 roll of bamboo, 4 used doors. That's funny, I have 1 used door here. I just got 2 rolls of bamboo for this fence. Wood, shaded space, we have the shade coverings, 3 compost bins. I have tires and shit for that. Couch and futon. Yep, 4 old chairs. That's so funny. I'm painting new chairs right now that we got for free for that front space. I ran out of spray paint though, I'm waiting on it. Electrical wiring, not there yet. Old dressers. Drill, sander, nail gun. I still don't have a nail gun. I need to buy that. Paint and stain. So it's like all of that we have been doing here. And I just want to say that. It's like, if it feels like your goals aren't going anywhere, they are. You know, out there where our stuff is. Okay, so here's a list I need to, okay, ready? Listen to this. Hammock, pillows, rugs, decking, rope for climbing, swings, lighting, solar fixtures, awning covers, beanbag, projector. I just got the projector this year too. Dressers, shelving, ottomans, kitty wall. We built the catio. Plants. I have that whole garden. So like this whole list has been achieved here. And so again, this is stuff that we will move back with us when we're ready, but we're not moving back until we have a well. And then I'm gonna have to do the county stuff. I have to read through this shit. But yeah, I want to get back into this space, so I appreciate you being here. We do have the solar. I have a wind turbine as well. Here I moved them from out there because there's a lot of meth folks out there. So again, I'm not quite ready. I'm not quite ready to live out there. As a single mom, we haven't found other women, and I'm not really ready to build it with anyone. I'm kind of like pretty, this kid. I'm pretty gung-ho about building it myself, because this is going to be a space for Niall as well. Eventually he will have his own, I want him to have his own yard off of the main house, like pretty much off of his bedroom. And then so that the dogs can't like fuck with this stuff. I am feeling a little homesick. I really want to go out there, but we'll see. There's only, I really want my books here in town, but we'll see. So that would probably be the right time of year to go out there. Anyway, I don't want to take my car because my car is okay for now and I don't want it to be unokay. So I appreciate you all being here. I don't know. I feel like maybe next step would be like solidifying the actual floor plan, which isn't any of these in here. Reading more about this stuff. I do need to read through the county stuff and see what's allowed and what's not as far as building permits and stuff. But yeah, to my knowledge, the county does a lot of course, paper pushing for that stuff, but when you're actually out there, it's pretty obvious that most of this stuff is not enforced. So, you know, it's mostly rural living out there. But my landlord has some land out there, and he said that he just hooked it up to city water for like a really, really reasonable price. But he knows where we're at. I think he must be closer to other structures and whatever they have. But yeah. This is a very important binder, and it just shows how much work goes into this stuff. I am not an expert in any of this, but I want and need housing for my child, and I know how badly that need is for other women. So that is my motivating factor always. There's a lot of people who are like, why do you just stay home? Because getting a home was a lot of work, and that's something that we've turned this into a fortress, because homes are things that people take for granted, and this process has been really, really long-winded, and so we're happy here. I'm happy here for now. I have no problem being here. But I do have an itch to do more out there to make our going back more tangible. You know what I mean? I think the next step for out there is to, first of all, clean the RVs out, especially since they've been sitting for a good 2 years. And then also build some more fencing. To give us a safe space to start building or whatever. I know what part of the land I want my gardens to be. I know what part of the land I want the house to be. I know what part of the land we're going to do guest housing, which are going to be earth bag structures, or like sheds. But yeah, it will happen. But yeah, it's been a lot of work, and I just wanted to share, touch base, because I feel like we got a lot of followers during the initial Homesteading Diaries, and then we really haven't been doing that at all. So hi, we haven't given up on this. We will not give up on this. But yeah, I did talk to the well company, and I was quoted $30,000 for a solar powered standalone well. So I don't have that kind of money. That's even more money than we live on annually. So we are going to see about that. I do have to have a $5,000 deposit to even get on the waiting list. So that feels like the next large investment. We do have septic already, but a well and septic, I don't know. I'm just kind of I'm holding off a little longer on that big investment. I mean, obviously, I don't have $30,000. I don't have a credit card. I have a debit card, and that's it. So, if you want to schedule a session with me, I just got a whole bunch of new cards, so we can do some readings. But yeah. I can feel myself in that space, like in the home. You know, I see in my head. I don't know if you do. But I can feel myself in that kitchen's gonna be huge. That's one thing. I've had this small kitchen like so long. We're gonna have a massive kitchen. Actually, the kitchen and the main like living space are gonna be completely open concept. And then we're gonna have like an indoor greenhouse, which is the entryway. If you have seen Earthships, that's the concept I want. Is the greenhouse within the house. That's what I'm most excited about. But people who build Earthships don't need a well. They use like rainwater and gray water through a system. So I don't know, maybe I should see how much Michael Reynolds charges. That's the guy who came up with the Earthship concept back in the 60s or 70s. So anyway, Earthships are built with like cans and bottles and cob and old tires. But yeah, and they're built like the back of the structure is built facing north, and the front of the structure is facing south, which is where the greenhouse, and then you get passive solar. So like those are all things I want to incorporate in my build, but I can't do that alone. So, and I can't pay people to do that right now either. So if you're not familiar with any of these terms, check out Earthships. They have a YouTube channel. They have a TikTok, I think, too, or some people do. And then you can also check out the Mojave Center. They do a lot of earth bags, and work with cob and lime wash. And they have workshops and stuff that you can go to learn how to build like that. But okay, I'm gonna let you go. Thanks for being here. The dream is still alive. It's just a matter of, yeah, there's some other things under my belt as well right now. So all right, have a good one.